This second Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the death, sword, famine, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRachakodash. All right, that by all the star apostles, that great millstone who rule well and taught us his truth. Peace and blessings, salutations to you, Akim, the supporter of Yasha Davidada, host of David. So, just real quick, for prophecy's sake. All right, and actually, let me get the first verse real quick. Actually, let me get this real quick, and then this was last Thursday, April 28th, but I found it prophetic because through the Spirit, you know, we've been talking about how once the dollar collapses, okay, you're gonna have specific things as far as gold, silver, all right, specific metals, things, you know, you're gonna find them going up in value, because in all actuality, really, when you look in the scriptures, all right, silver and gold were what? They were real currency, all right? Now this dollar, we know that it's called a Federal Reserve note, all right? Or FRN, so to speak. And that FRN isn't backed by anything, okay? No substance. That's why America is in what? A type of, not in a type of debt, but in a certain trillion amount of debt, man. All right? Because that's not real currency. That's borrowed money, so to speak, okay? But real currency is what? Gold and silver. And even back in the ancient world, you had cattle and things of that nature, man. But also in the midst of that, it says food shortage is next. Inflation to go to the moon, right? And, you know, an expression to the moon would be to an high extent. Okay, now I'm a reason. Or actually, you know what? Let me actually play this video.
It's red across the board on Monday as global markets continue their sell-off into the weekend and into today. So the S&P 500 is down 1%. The Dow Jones is down 300 points. Asian markets are down. Oil is down 6%. Bond yields are down. The DXY, the dollar index, is up, and gold retreated yet again on Monday for the second session in a row, down 1.6% today as we speak. Todd Bubba Horowitz, Chief Market Strategist at BubbaTrading.com, joins us today on this very tumultuous market day. Welcome back.
David, it's always a pleasure to be with you and Kitco. Glad to be here.
Yeah, what a day, Todd. What a day. Your first reaction to everything that's going on right now, and we'll drill down to specific assets.
Well, you know, David, I don't think there's much. I'm not really much surprised at anything that's going on right now. I think that the equities are going to go significantly lower. You know, I've talked over a number of months that equities I thought would go down 40 to 60%. And I think we've now just begun that journey to take us lower. Now, there'll be some real big spike rallies in here somewhere, but we are certainly in an ugly downtrend. And, you know, you can tie in a lot of things to this, and none of it being Russia, although Russia is a part of the equation. But, you know, the shutdown in China is going to hurt, obviously, lots of businesses because there's not going to be goods. We've already got supply chain issues. And so that creates a very big ordeal. You've got all kinds of geopolitical things happening. We're going to have probably a food shortage next year.
See? And I just brought out the scripture. All right, because Yahushai. Oh, shoot. Damn. It's lucky. I'm not going to play this whole video. But we know.
Because there's not going to be goods. We've already got supply chain issues.
Yahushai spoke prophecy about what? Food shortages, man. This is Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights. And they're talking about China had a shutdown because of what? A pestilence, okay? It says, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay, in Matthew 24:7, right? For the nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So this is point blank range prophecy, man. And this second Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So the reason why we do videos as such as this, showing specific things happening, because the Lord said, I will put the words of prophecy in your mouth. So we're prophesying something that's going to come. And the Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai, the Lord is confirming what we're saying to be true.
Because there's not going to be goods. We've already got supply chain issues. And so that creates a very big ordeal. You've got all kinds of geopolitical things happening. We're going to have probably a food shortage next year, based on what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, because they do supply 30% of the wheat crop, and we don't have, Mother Nature is not cooperating in the States, and that's following up with Australia and Brazil that already missed. And the metals, this is an interesting look here. I mean, certainly the colossal failure up at those key resistance levels has sent gold and silver spiraling lower. But at the end of the day, it was 120.
Why does it keep doing
it? Increase the flu. But, the numbers are actually similar.
Slovakia.
To other parts of the world right now. Again. And even if it does, what's the likelihood that governments can shut us down?
Let me go back a little bit more.
Things happening. We're going to have probably a food shortage next year, based on what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, because they do supply 30% of the wheat crop, and we don't have, Mother Nature is not cooperating in the States, and that's following up with Australia and Brazil that already missed. And the metals, this is an interesting look here. I mean, certainly the colossal failure up at those key resistance levels has sent gold and silver spiraling lower. Now, at some point, they'll find a base and we'll probably see a rally. But I think you may be seeing selling in here to add a little bit more pressure to Russia, because it does affect them, especially now since they've benchmarked the ruble to the price of gold.
All right, let's talk about equities first and then gold. So stocks are down, like you mentioned. A lot of factors involve Russia, the slowdown in China, potentially causing a global slowdown. On the COVID front, now, Todd, I know neither you and I are medical experts, but what's going on in China? Could that spread to other parts of the world right now again? And even if it does, what's the likelihood that governments can shut us down once again?
See, it's back to that,
Well, again, I don't know about, China to me is you never get true facts out of China. And this may just be more of a power play in China by their government. They're obviously a communist country, very tightly controlled. So it's hard for me to put any faith out of China. I don't think COVID is the true reason. I think that COVID has been, again, it's under control. And I think if you look at some of the statistics based on how they've been reported, I don't know how COVID suddenly dramatically increased the flu, but the numbers are actually similar. Before COVID ever existed, we had that many cases of flu every year. So to me, I think it's a bunch of bunk. And I think that, in certain countries, you may see some shutdowns. I mean, certainly in Canada, you could see a shutdown because you're basically running under a socialist regime. In this country, I think if they tried to shut the country down again, I think there would be a major problem and probably a revolutionary war in the United States of America.
You heard that? A revolutionary war. Back to second Esdras. So this thing is happening, man. All right. Let me see. It says second Esdras 15. And 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is what the elites want, okay? This is exactly what the elites want. He's saying it, but this is exactly what the elites want. a revolutionary war, man, on the U.S. soil. Or a civil war, so to speak.
I think that people are sick and tired of the controls of what government is trying to do. And I think that it's really more of a reason they're trying to get the globalization versus actually take care of the individual citizens of those countries.
Okay. Well, yeah, that aside, the equity markets are not taking the news well. Whether or not the information coming out of China is factually accurate, the stock markets certainly are fearful. Is it just because of COVID, Todd?
No, it's because of the supply chain. It's because they're not going to be delivering goods. It has nothing to do with it. Maybe COVID is the reason, but it's going to be the supply of getting the goods that you need. You remember, a lot of our drugs come out of China. There's a lot of things that come out of China for no apparent reason as well. So this is the bigger issue. Again, COVID, or whatever reason, they're not delivering. They're not delivering, which is really the bottom line. And what money cares about is, are they going to be able to make money? And certainly retailers are going to have a big problem making money because they're not getting enough goods to sell enough.
What's that going to do to prices? What's that going to do to inflation?
Inflation's going to the moon. We're only in the early stages. I mean, first of all, the CPI number that's reported here is ridiculous and laughable because they don't count food and energy. They don't have very much weight there. So food and energy, other than a furnace breakdown. Well,
headline CPI has food and energy, right? Core CPI exclusive, but headline, has food and energy.
But it only counts in 4%, which is ridiculous in comparison to what people pay for. Okay. Again, if you talk about your true real expenses, barring an emergency in your home or something that has to be replaced, your number one cost during a year is food and energy. And if you have food and energy going to Pluto, crude was $30 a barrel after the election. And now it's it's back to under 100 right now. It's 95. But at the end of the day, it was 125. We're paying so much more at the pump that people are having to make a decision on how much they can drive versus how much they can eat. And this is going to be a much bigger problem. These prices are going much higher, especially anything that has to do with wheat or soybeans or corn, because those are also exploding higher, although they're a little bit lower today.
Okay. A couple of points you brought up. First of all, the Fed's rate hikes this year. Jerome Powell did say last week at
man, I'm not going to play the whole video, but I will put this through the spirit in the link. I'll put the link in the description, and I can, man, check it out, man. See what you get out of it, But with that, I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Harachakodash. All right, double honor star apostles, a great millstone, one way that taught us is truth and peace and blessings to you, Akim, that's a part of the Bayasha, Davidah, the house of David. Shalom.